Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we are sitting down in my cozy sweatshirt and we are gonna do my reverse foundation routine. So this is a la Scott Barnes technique where you kind of do your contour, your blush, your highlighter underneath your foundation. So I've been doing this for a while for like full glam looks, but I've been trying to perfect it for a more natural look, and that's what I'll be showing you today. So if you wanna see how I get the super natural look with the reverse foundation routine, then sit back, relax, enjoy this video, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe below, and hit that notification bell. Okay, so now that we are zoomed in on my face, we are just gonna dive right into the reverse foundation routine. So I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Tantour in the shade Fair. And I love this product for reverse foundation because it's like a cream to powder kind of situation. So it goes on super smoothly, but it dries down a little bit. So it's not gonna stay super wet and move a lot under the foundation we put on. So it won't create like a muddy mess on the skin. Plus it's super pigmented, so a little bit goes a long way. The thing with reverse foundation that I had to tell myself, I kept doing it and being like, that is not the same result everyone is getting. The big thing is, stop blending so damn much. Like I was blending out my contour a bunch and my blush and my highlight. The key is to not, because the harshness of the contour, the blush, the highlight is all gonna be sheared out when it comes for that really thin wash of foundation over the top. So I've got my brush loaded up with product and I'm gonna dive in. Okay, so now that I look like a clown, crazy person, I'm just gonna do it on this side of my face so you really understand how dramatic it has to be. So looking at you head on, this side is nothing, this side is super dramatic, but what it's doing is really setting how I wanna carve out my face. I'm trying to lift that cheekbone. I'm trying to really kind of like create this angled look to my face today, going for something very bronze, very contoured. So I'm gonna copy this to the other side of my face off camera and we'll be right back for the next step. Okay, we're back with our very subtle contour looking stunning. So we are gonna dive right into our blush. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush in Bikini Martini. As you can see, it's dirty as hell. I've been living for this lately. I'm just gonna go in with my finger, and these are super pigmented, so a little bit's gonna go a long way. And I love a kind of sun-kissed effect to my skin. So when I go in with this, I'm actually gonna start kind of back. I'm gonna tap a little bit of this at the top of my bronzer. I know that seems weird, hear me out, it'll make sense later. And then I'm gonna go in with my blush where I would normally put it, right here on that cheekbone, and back up kind of high here, and meeting that other blush back here and kind of blending those together. And what that does is give me kind of a sun-kissed effect in this area opposed to just a super blushed effect. And I've just been super obsessed with it. I found my favorite blushes and bronzers all have a little bit of red or have a little bit of pink to them. They just add a little bit of believability to the skin. I mean, honestly, believability is not what I'm going for today, but it's nice to know every now and then that it looks a little more natural. Okay, so now that I've applied this on both sides, it is looking so pretty. I'll probably apply, yeah, probably just a touch up here as well. Don't be afraid to put a little bit of this up into your hairline. It's gonna give you that really beautiful sun-kissed effect to the skin that you were getting on the cheek. It'll do the same thing up here, just be a little more light-handed. And then I've been going a little heavy on my blush right on the tip of my nose. I've just been so into it. I think it looks so cute all the time. So I'm gonna take that pretty heavily right there. Little more right on the cheeks, and we are blushed up. Clown realness. Oh my gosh, I'm loving it. Okay, so we're gonna move on to highlighter. Okay, moving on to highlighter. This one is a favorite product when it comes to formula, but I hate the packaging. It's the Charlotte Tilbury Beauty Light Wand. It is so good. This is the original shade Spotlight. If you're anywhere from like a deeper tan to a dark skin, I think this would be a little too light for you, but she has a few more shades of this now that would be perfection on your skin. But if you're a little more like anywhere from medium to super fair, stunning highlighter, super blinding, garbage packaging. So you have to like squeeze it out, but you have to open this little top part and it just gets all over your hands, all over the tube, and it's just a mess. But you'll see this formula in action and be like, wait a goddamn minute. Just that tiny, what? and it just goes forever. I'm just gonna tap this out with my finger as well. So freaking blinding. And I'm gonna show you, this is a little trick that I like to do. So put your highlighter on, put it under the brow bone, put it anywhere you really wanna catch that shine. And then where I really wanna blind underneath my foundation, I tap a little extra, and you're just gonna tap right on top of that and not really blend it out so much as make sure it really is just concentrated right there. So everywhere else it's hitting, I'm just getting a subtle glow, but when I turn, boom, it's really gonna catch underneath that foundation. So I'm gonna copy this to the other side of my face, and then we'll be back to apply foundation, y'all. Okay, so I feel like this is where everyone gets a little bit misguided in this process. So if you're using your everyday medium to full coverage foundation, that's fine, but you need to be using like 25% of what you normally use. Or you can do what I do and just move to a sheer foundation. So for this, I love the Charlotte Tilbury Light Wonder foundation because I can get anywhere from a very, very light sheer wash of color on the skin to like a medium coverage foundation. So this can be built up in the areas where I need to cover up the contour and make it blend a little more. And I can do it super sheerly and super lightly on the areas where I want that highlight and blush to really, really pop. So that's really the key, is less foundation, let the blush, bronzer, highlight do all of the work for you. And then another big application tip is if you're using your everyday like foundation brush, like something a little more dense, switch to something that's a little fluffier, that's going to give you a little bit of a softer blend on the skin, and it's gonna sheer the product out just a little bit more. So I'm gonna take this in the back of my hand, just like so, super crazy, because I'm actually just gonna work it into the brush. Bam, 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 like I'm making up the back of my hand. Grab my mirror and we are gonna dive in. Okay, so you'll see, I just used that little bit of foundation, worked it into the skin, and it's blended all of this out. So I'll come a little closer for you. So now you can see that you can still see the blush, the bronzer, the contour, but now it just looks like my natural skin, like I was just born with these fabulous angles. So I love this technique. This is what it's meant to do. It's meant to do all of that work and shaping your face that you do afterwards with the powders beforehand, because it takes a lot of the work out of it, honestly. You use less product, you don't have to blend nearly as much, you don't have to be a masterful artist, really, really great at using a brush. You can literally slap it on the face, and as long as you take a little more time to blend that foundation in, it is going to look so, so skin-like and so, so, so beautiful. So I'm gonna come back with the rest of my makeup on and my final look. Okay, everybody, we are here. This is the final look, and I'm just so, so happy with this routine. Now that I've got the products that work best for me and I've got it figured out, I've done it a few times, I find that this is easier, looks so much more natural, and I can use a lot less product. So I'm doing this when I'm doing full glam, I'm doing this when I'm doing a little bit of just like a softer moment where I kind of want my natural skin to still come through. And no matter how I kind of manipulate this routine, it works beautifully. So don't get discouraged if when you try the first time it doesn't look the way you want, or when you try the 5th time it still doesn't look the way you want. It's kind of a guess and test process, and it kind of is gonna work differently for everybody. So just keep trying and know that as long as you feel beautiful, that's the only goal. But that brings us to the end of today's video. If you like what you saw today and you want to see more content like this, don't forget, comment below. I'd love to hear from you guys. Like this video, subscribe below, hit that bell so you can see every time I post something new. And as always, thank y'all so much for watching. I love y'all.